Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the brand new Loyal Subjects Los Angeles, the Masters of the Universe fully posable action vinyls. As you can probably guess, Spot's going to be having a look at an entire case, which consists of 4 up, 4 across. That gives us, simple math, 16. 16 boxes we're going to be opening up on this video, so sit down, relax, get yourself a nice cup of hot coffee or hot chocolate, or even a nice glass of lemonade. I can really go for a glass of lemonade from time to time, but sit down, relax, because Spot's going to open up all 16 of these. All 16. We're going to see what we got inside. I have really been looking forward to having a look at these, as Masters of the Universe and He-Man have been some of my favorite childhood, one of my favorite childhood cartoons to go to. When I had the chance to meet the gentleman who voices Skeletor at a toy convention, my heart skipped a beat. Of course, he also did the voice of Falkor from Neverending Story. Alan Oppenheimer, I think that was his name. When he signed my Skeletor image, well, of course you buy it at the table, he signed it. I said, it is a real honor that I get a chance to meet you, because, you are one of my favorite childhood characters, or one of my favorite childhood voices growing up. And then I said, could you do the voice of Skeletor for me? And I'll never forget this. He looked down at the signature that he just finished scribbling on. He looked at me, and in his best Skeletor impression, obviously not impression because he does the voice of Skeletor, he looked at me and he said, "You paid money for this? You fool." And of course, I can't do justice to a Skeletor, but again, it was one of the greatest moments of my life. Loved it. So we're going to be having a look at the entire case of Masters of the Universe. So there's He-Man on the front, the characters on the side. Consists of Skeletor, Beastman, Tri-Klops, and Trap Jaw. Each have 2 in 16, so we're probably going to get a couple of those. The more singular figures are Faker, Evil-Lyn, and Teela. Then the other side, Man-at-Arms, which he also did the voice of, He-Man, Stratos, and Many Faces. Then on the underside, it just has a warning choking hazard. Contains small parts, not suitable for children under 14 years of age. Again, I'll put all the information down below to Loyal Subjects. There it is right there as well. www.loyalsubjects.com. You can also follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/TheLoyalSubjectsCO. Twitter.com/LoyalSubjects, and Instagram at The Loyal Subjects. Make sure you put the in there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to open up the first one and then proceed until finally all 16 have been opened up, and I can't wait. Of course, any one of these will be awesome to pick up, but I hope to get a Skeletor. Skeletor's 2 in 16, so I think it's safe to say that the chances are pretty good and pretty high that I'll be getting a Skeletor and a He-Man. Let's see what we got for the first one. And sure enough, the universe smiles upon me, calls me up on my phone. I say, hello, hi. Spot? Yeah, go ahead. Universe here. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Boy, I wasn't expecting you guys to call me until like the Wednesday. No, we're calling you early. We just want to let you know we're giving you Skeletor. What? You're giving me Skeletor? Yeah, we are. Totally are. All right, so there's Skeletor. I think he should have, does he have any accessories? No, he doesn't. I thought he might have actually come with his staff or one of his swords, the purple power sword there, but no, it doesn't look like he comes with anything. Let's just look at his card first. It says, Skeletor, Overlord of Evil, has gathered together many at the Eternia's greatest outcasts and evil warriors in his quest to gain entry into Castle Grayskull. He will stop at nothing to obtain what he believes is the universe's ultimate power source. Despite the fact that he does not come with any accessories, Skeletor looks fantastic. I especially like the fact, let's bring the camera in, let's do some service here. I especially like the fact that you can open and close his mouth. Which, let's see if we can, there we go. There's his mouth closed. There's his mouth open. I'll get you, He-Man. Oh, greatest moment ever. getting to meet him. I actually got to meet Jake the Snake Roberts that day too, which also was a great experience. But him signing that Skeletor autograph, that was it for me. I also had him sign my Neverending Story DVD or Blu-ray, but stupidly me, I didn't take the insert out, so Alan actually just signed the outside of the case, which obviously over time, if it wears or rubs against anything, that signature is going to come off. I should have taken the insert out, had him sign that. I should have had a V8. For posability, by the way, whoops, I was going to say for posability, I just popped the head off. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, Spot would lose Skeletor's head if it wasn't attached to him. Anyways, for posability, his head is on a ball joint. I guess it becomes a little more difficult because his head, it has the posability option there to him as well. So his head would normally have a ball joint, but just because, you know, the opening area of his mouth kind of doesn't give as much secure fitting to the ball joint. They also have ball joint shoulders. Looks like they rotate all the way around. Rotation in the hands. There we go. There we go. Rotation in the waist. Looks like possibly ball jointed legs and ball jointed feet. That is a fantastic way to start this review with Skeletor. I'll get you, He-Man. Oh, just couldn't believe that. Should have actually got a picture with him as well. What a great guy. Very, very nice guy. All right, so let's open up case or box number 2. He was also in, not to be talking about him this whole entire review, but he was also in one of my favorite Married with Children episodes where the Rhodes, no, it was the Darcys. Yeah, Marcy Darcy. It was where the Darcys take on the Bundys in a grocery store shopping spree because it's a super hot day and the Bundys are living inside this grocery store. He was actually the owner of the grocery store. I guess the manager there. Next one we have is Stratos. Stratos is the leader of the race of bird people of Avion, who possess the power of flight and other bird-like abilities. The bird people are close allies of He-Man, and Stratos is one of the most trusted warriors. Obviously that will be telling us who we're going to be getting inside. And again, doesn't look like he has any accessories. He did have a popped off leg, however. I'll just go ahead and pop that back into place. There we go. It must have just popped off while it was being shipped. There we go. And there's Stratos. Stratos has his jetpack going on the back there. Same posability as Skeletor. A little bit better, I think, in the head. The heads still do pop off a little bit, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. There is Stratos. Coloring, the paint on these is super vibrant. Especially the Skeletor, the blue popping with that purple color, and then the lighter yellow. I like that they went lighter yellow on Skeletor. Oh, I dropped his head. This review is cursed by me dropping Skeletor's head. There we go. I love the light yellow on Skeletor's face. Alright, so let's try not to drop any more heads. No more heads need to be rolling in this review. Let's open up the next box. I'm not to get too ahead of myself here, but would love to also see... Oh, hey, hold on a second. Oh, there are accessories. Look at me, I feel so stupid. The accessories were not actually in the foil bags. The accessories were standalone. They were inside the box. So let me just describe what we're looking at here. Stratos's accessories were inside the box. In here, not in the foil bag. I'm so used to, I really should have looked, so used to seeing the accessories being inside the foil bags, I simply did not look in the box. See, you gotta use these. You gotta use those peepers of yours to really, really check these things so you don't feel like a silly idiot. Alright, so we're gonna pop the wings on here to Stratos, which obviously he flies a lot better with wings. There we go. And then moving forward, now we know to look. Holy banana. Spot feels so silly. That's alright, we've rectified the situation. There we go. There's Stratos with his staff as well as his wings. All set to go. And then while we're at it, the one that we first looked at, was Skeletor, which I did actually get a double of. Skeletor is right here. I got a second one of him. And once again, there is Skeletor. I've got accessories now, He-Man. There we go. Let's get these accessories going. So Skeletor's got his staff. He has also a sword and an axe, a battle axe. Could just be a regular axe, but I think when you get double blades or double-ended axe, I don't think I'll automatically consider that a battle axe. I don't know. I know if you ask some husbands, sometimes they refer to their old ladies at home as battle axes. They don't live very long, though. They have a very, surprisingly, no surprise, I guess, they have a very short life. How does that happen? I don't know. Very short life. It's remarkable, though. It's remarkable how those two things go hand in hand. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going home. Not yet. Yeah, that battle axe. Next day, hey, what happened to Gary? He just disappeared. I don't know. But by no coincidence, did you hear about that guy that was horribly maimed in a forest somewhere? Yeah, I don't know. What happened to Gary, though? I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with his lovely wife at home. See, now you have to compliment the wife, because she'll speak to your wife, and it's just trouble galore. So there's Skeletor. Oh, and he also has a section on the back for maybe the battle axe. See, now we're seeing whole new things here. We're entering in a whole new world that we didn't know of before, because now we know we have accessories. We'll put the battle axe on the back of Skeletor. His head still pops off a little bit. There we go. That looks more like Skeletor, would you not admit? Now that he's got his staff and sword. There's his sword right there. Very, very nice, though. There's Skeletor. Put him over there. All right, so now moving forward, now at least we know these guys come with accessories. And the accessories, as advertised, are interchangeable. You can swap them out. You want to give He-Man Skeletor's staff? Why not? Your imagination, you can do anything you want. Anything you want. Bob Ross also said it too. Your imagination is the key. Think what you want. If you think it, you can will it. Very deep, Spot. Yes, very, very deep. All right, let's have a look at the next one here. Next one we have is Beastman. Banished from his home in the Vine Jungle, Beastman has the ability to control beasts and monsters. He currently uses his particular talent as chief henchman to Skeletor, the overlord of evil. And he has included with him a whip, which we will get out of packaging right away. And we're going to put the whip into his hand. The hands are a little on the clamped side. They're a little difficult to get accessories in there. You really have to, apply a little bit of pressure to get those, like I said, those accessories into their hand. I guess you can kind of cheat and bring the whip up from the top where it's the smallest portion. There we go. And you got the whip now into his hand. Just adjust his legs. Just fix the ball joints in his feet. There we go. Looks like his mouth would open and close. It actually doesn't. There's the back of him right there. A good size, a good chunky figure. There he is next to Skeletor. Love these. Just love them. There's Beastman. Put him right over there. Poor Stratos is a little outnumbered. Let's see if we can get some of the masters going here. Some of He-Man's colleagues. Man-at-Arms would be cool. Of course, can't wait for the He-Man. Making sure, of course, not to drop the accessories. As you can probably see, it's a whip, alluding to us that we've got ourselves another Beastman inside. Sure enough, there he is right there. Same Beastman. Nothing different between him. Just by the way, I want to show you a close-up look at these. Super detailed. Nice coloring on them. Faithful to the cartoon, I would say. Really, I guess what they always could do as a possibility too is re-release some of these figures in their original toy incarnations. You know, then you get, you know, you get a little bit more going for him. You could change the feet out, of course, for Skeletor, who doesn't have the boots. He would have, you know, the clawed, you know, feet there. Change the face out slightly. It's always a possibility if it's something that they would pursue. Opening up the next box gives collectors a little more bang for their buck too, because, well, I guess not bang for their buck, but give them more reason to go back and pick up more of these again, because you'd be getting, you know, a repainted version of these. Next one we have, anybody want to take a guess? Looks like a series of interchangeable hands. One's a hook, one's a claw, one's a laser blaster. Seems possibly that could be Trapjaw. Let's see if we're right. It is Trapjaw. A member of the Evil Warriors, Trapjaw is a cyborg with mechanical sharp-toothed jaw with deadly bite, a robotic arm onto which he can slot a wide range of different weapons. He also has a loop on his helmet which can be used to slide down any wire or cable, which is something actually they don't reference too often. There is Trapjaw. Whoa, he looks awesome. Kind of caught me off guard too with his jaw completely open like that. Let's see if we can close it off here. There we go. Don't want him too extreme. And we'll go ahead while we're at it and open these up so we can change out some of his arms. So he's got a hole on his arm just like the toy and just like the cartoon. And comes with a claw accessory right there. It comes with his laser blaster. And he comes with his hook. I'm going to go ahead and add his hook for the time being. Oops, I'm going to just hold on to the arm. That way it doesn't wiggle around on us while we're adding this. Now it's ball jointed, so it's really requires a little bit of added pressure. There we go, to pop that into place. There's Trapjaw. Same articulation. The head does move. And the jaw does open up. Arms rotate all the way around. Rotation in the wrists. Rotation in the waist. Ball joint legs. And what appears to be ball jointed feet as well. There is Trapjaw. Looking awesome. Still a little outnumbering for poor Stratos, though. Let's see if we can get ourselves a He-Man. We didn't really go by rows. As you can see, we started and then we had good intentions. We started meandering over to the next row here. I don't really even need Hank for this other than cutting the package. The box itself, perfectly fine for me to open up as is. Now let's pull out the accessory once again, and we'll kind of guess to see who we might think this could be. Okay, so yellow accessories, a little bit of blue. It comes blaster, or she comes with a blaster, comes with like a mallet, comes with a sword. Any guesses? Yeah. Nothing's fooling you. You guys are so smart. It is Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms. And once again, the card from Loyal Subjects. The read-up says, Man-at-Arms is a weapons master and combat instructor to the royal family. He scouts the borders of Eternia, searching for signs of lurking evil. You'll also see, too, that Man-at-Arms has his mustache, more akin to the cartoon and not so much to the original toys. I love the face on him. That is a full mustache. Although it's not, probably a little past his prime. You know, back in the day, Tom Selleck could do a great job at Man-at-Arms. Tom Selleck, that's a full Tom Selleck kind of mustache. We will give him his, I don't know what you would call this, a club. Is it, would you say it's a club or mace? I guess it's more like a club. Doesn't really look like, I guess there is a little bit of a slot here that you could slide the sword into. Okay. And we can also give him his blaster. Much to my dismay, one character that got omitted from this run. Now, granted, this is, you know, they could always do more of these runs. I don't see an Orko. No Orko. Or no Battle Cat either. guess Battle Cat might be a little bit more difficult. I mean, if you bend the legs down, technically, I'm only kind of trying to think outside the box here. If you bent the legs down and you made the figure about that size, you could do like a little squat version of Battle Cat and then have He-Man sitting on top, because would be using about the same size of plastic as the molds for the actual figures. Battle Cat would be awesome. Let me know down below who you would like to see for future Masters of the Universe fully posable action vinyls from the folks over at Loyal Subjects. In the meantime, though, there is a very nice Man-at-Arms. And now we just got to get ourselves a He-Man. Of course, some of the other ones we haven't picked up yet in this. Now we get a total of, let's count them off, 4 at the top, and then there is 7 at the bottom, so that's 11. We have 16 in here, so we're going to get ourselves, for the most part, almost a whole set. Obviously, the one of figures might be a little harder to get in this set, but at least the chances are good. They stocked the boxes so that at least, you know, basically for all the key characters, you get 2 options, or 2 chances to get them. So like, for example, we've had 2 Beastman times 2. We've had 2 Skeletors. We've had now 2 Trapjaws, which I guess, did I give it away? You saw the accessories, so another Trapjaw. So you get 2 of those. And like, even if you look at, once again, there's Trapjaw. But if you look at the boxes, you know, again, 2 of basically every character gets 2 chances in this case to get for you, the collector, to get. So they're not super rare. That I like, so that you're not running all over the place trying to buy multiples of these. Sure, of course, these ones here will be a little harder to find, being that they're one of. But like the key characters, the core characters in my mindset, maybe Tila and Evil-Lyn would be cool, but these ones here at least are easier to come by. So I have to commend them for that at least they didn't showcase some of the more common characters, like a He-Man or a Skeletor. You didn't have to go all over the place looking for a Skeletor. Okay, so we got this sword right here. Anybody want to take a guess? It's got an eye on it. Green hilt. Yeah. You guys are so smart. I can't pull one over on you. We got ourselves Tri-Klops. Tri-Klops wears a 3-eyed helmet. One of the eyes can conduct telescopic vision and night vision. The second, energy blasts and light flashes. The third can foresee the future. I mean, you basically would only need this guy. I mean, it seems like he can do everything. Yeah, Beastman. Beastman can control beasts, but Tri-Klops can foresee the future. I'm surprised, foreseeing the future, would he not know that He-Man would be in places, or he would know how to defeat He-Man? I guess we don't want to look at that part. Tri-Klops, though, is a little bit more tanned than, let's say, Man-at-Arms. Here he is next to Tri-Klops. And here he is next to Beastman. And finally, here he is next to Skeletor. Tri-Klops, the head, let's see here, yeah, it does rotate to his 3 different eyes. There we go. And it has all the same posability as the other figures. Let's go ahead and cut the sword open as well. And pull the sword out, and we'll fit that into his hand. I suppose the only thing I would say about these figures, as great as they are, the accessories are a little difficult to get into their hands. If they had maybe, I don't know, if they had maybe had the option where the bottoms could come off, where you could just slide them into the hands, might be a little bit easier. But they are a little on the difficult side to get into their hands at times. There you have Tri-Klops. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we've got we got 3. We got 7 boxes still to go through. Still lots of opportunities to get the likes of He-Man and, let's see, like a Man-E-Faces. There's 2 of him. We've got all these guys. we've basically locked, stocked, and ready to go with these 4 characters featured on this side. Still got to get ourselves Man-E-Faces and He-Man. And then we've got those figures. And then maybe if we're lucky, we might get one of the rare figures. Let's see. Now this one is huge. I don't know what this all is. Comes a blaster. And I'm thinking that might be Man-E-Faces. Possibly. It does feel like it's a bigger figure too. Let's see if that is correct. And sure enough, that is 100% correct. Man-E-Faces is a member of the Heroic Warriors, notable by their distinctive appearance. With his large blue metal head, his faces appear in the screen like opening that contains a rotating faceplate. This allows him to transform into his multiple personalities. When I was younger, Spot was huge into He-Man, and Man-E-Faces was one of the first He-Man figures I had as a kid. Sure, I eventually got a He-Man, I got Skeletor, and I never got an Orko. I always wish I could have gotten an Orko, and never got a Man-at-Arms. But I got a lot of the little side characters. Ram Man, Stratos. But Man-E-Faces, I vividly remember getting him. I think I got him actually for my birthday. Now, he does have a top section here, so he has the ghoulish monster. Ghoul, I love saying ghoul. Then we can rotate it, which I guess rotates this way. There's his regular face. Or the more familiar face, I suppose. And then he has the robotic face. There we go. Man-E-Faces. Could have also called him Tri-Face, but I guess they have Tri-Klops. There's no sense in having 2 tries. Oh, I'll just take the hand off here. Yeah, the accessories are a little, like, look at the size of that handle and the hands. A little on the difficult side to get them into his grip there. And let's go ahead and spin the face around again to the, I always think of this more as the default face. Let me know down below what you would think is the default face to Man-E-Faces, or what your favorite face is. You like the more traditional human face? Do you like the robotic face? Or do you like the ghoulish monster face, the green face? I'm going to put it back, though, to the regular face. There's Man-E-Faces. Man-E-Faces, love it. All right, let's see if we can get ourselves a He-Man going here. We've done very well for the other figures. Still no He-Man, though. Skeletor must have had some plot, some master scheme and plan where maybe He-Man is battling some demon, some giant monster in a portal dimension world. Nope, or he's right here. That's a perfect segue. There's He-Man with the power sword, or the power sword for He-Man, and his shield. No battle axe, though. And the card. Prince Adam of Eternia was chosen to protect his ancestors' power sword from evil. Adam uses it to channel the power of Grayskull and become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. He guards the safety of all Eternia alongside the heroic masters of the universe. As another option for loyal subjects, I'm just making a mess over here. As another option for the loyal subjects, being that they already have the faces and the bodies, you know, you could come up with all the different incarnations of He-Man as well. Like the battle armor He-Man, the little chest plate armor He-Man. Of course, we already got ourselves a faker, which probably would be just a repaint of this guy. I like the face, though, on him. Very much show cartoon accurate. A little slot on the back for his power sword. Didn't come with the battle axe, though. But he didn't really use the battle axe much in the way of the cartoon. I mean, he really only used the power sword and, like, the shield. The staple, though, for the toy, or at least one I always had him using, was I always had him using the battle axe. And then, of course, I would have him using the power sword from time to time as well. Can't have He-Man without his power sword, after all. There we go. All right, so there's the shield, there's the power sword, there's He-Man. And you can take the power sword, take it out of his hand. I told you guys this was going to be a long video. Take the power sword out of his hand, and it can slot just in the back like so. Alright, there's He-Man and his arch nemesis Skeletor. Absolutely love these. Again, paint is really done well on these. He-Man's got a bit of a shiny face, but that's okay. He's probably been working up a sweat fighting a giant monster. They could also do these as She-Ra. She-Ra would be a nice extension, a nice accompanying extension to these as well. I mean, like looking at Teela, they could essentially use that face again, slightly tweak the mold for a She-Ra. Just kind of maybe have the mouth open, slightly like Faker, for example. And you could do that, make that into like a She-Ra, if they wanted to reuse molds. You know, always trying to think of ways you can reuse molds. So we got the sword and we got the shield, so we obviously know who this one is. But we'll open it up nonetheless. And we got another He-Man. I'm just making a mess all over on this other side here. I don't even think the power of He-Man could help fix this mess. Just dedication, determination, and just, you don't want a messy room. That's a lot of what drives me to clean up the mess after these reviews. I just don't want a messy room. So there is, once again, is He-Man. Love these. Love these. And I mentioned this, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but certainly, again, if you are interested in picking these up for yourself, Loyal Subjects stocks these. You can always find these at local comic book stores. My local comic book store stocks these. If you're a fan of He-Man, though, I mean, this can't really get better than this. This is just a love letter to He-Man fans. Got the mace, or club, the sword, and the blaster, thereby deducing, if you're kind of just thinking in your mind, well, wait a minute, I remember seeing that before. Yeah, where'd you remember seeing that before? Okay, green, blue, okay, that was Man-at-Arms. Yeah, it was Man-at-Arms. There's another Man-at-Arms to add to the collection. There we go, right there. By the way, they have no pegs on the undersides of their feet. Not that they have display stands. Underneath you've got Loyal Subjects and Mattel Inc. Right there, see Mattel? Another Man-at-Arms. All right, let's take a quick tally here. Who have we not gotten yet? We've gotten all these guys. We might probably going to get another Stratos. We've got two of him, one of him, so probably another one of those. Two Skeletors, two Beastman. We only had one Tri-Klops, so we don't have Tri-Klops yet, and we have two Trapjaws. And we got 3 boxes left. Could get a rare. We could potentially get a rare. Let's see. Let's find out. Opening box, the third last box in this epic journey. Not to Eternia, but the epic journey through this case of the Loyal Subjects, Masters of the Universe, fully posable action vinyls. And sure enough, oh, look at that. Man-at-Arms. We got 2. We actually ended up getting 3 inside this, as we've gotten another accessory bag for Man-at-Arms. And the proof is in the pudding. The pudding here is another Man-at-Arms. There we go. And I had alluded before as well, making these in toy variations too. Simply could just take Man-at-Arms and resculpt the face to omit the mustache. And then you've got the toy line of Masters of the Universe as well. Alright, so likely we're going to be getting another Stratos. But after that, I have no idea. Let's hope at least we get... Looking at the 3 here, I mean, love to get a Faker. Faker or Evil-Lyn. Teela would be cool too, but I think a Faker or Evil-Lyn would be the icing on the cake and a good way to wrap up this video. And while we're at it, I ended up moving the bag. There's a bag of the accessories. Got ourselves another Trapjaw, which gives us 3 Trapjaws, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's 3 now. 3 Trapjaws. 3 Trapjaws. There we go. Adjust his legs, fix his arms. Schwanky. Spot's going to review all of these afterwards. Not review them in separate videos, but we're going to kind of just give our final thoughts on this. We'll kind of re-look at the figures that we got in this box. So stay tuned for that. And the final box in this epic journey into the realm of the Masters of the Universe fully posable action figures. I'm assuming Series 1. Let's have a look at the accessory. The accessory. Hey, we have not recognized that before. It looks like a scepter. A scepter for perhaps Evil-Lyn, which is a 1 of 24 chance. She is the little easier to find of the other two because Faker is 1 of 96, Teela is 1 of 48, Evil-Lyn is only 1 of 24, but still a rare figure, one would say. And let's pull up the card. There she is right there. Evil-Lyn is a malevolent sorceress whose powers seem to be second only to Skeletor's. Exceptionally cunning, she's merely in Skeletor's ranks to suit her own ends. I think that's a suitable read-up, one would agree, to Evil-Lyn. There's Evil-Lyn right there. She's also the only female that we've gotten in this set. And we'll go ahead and cut the bag for her scepter. Remove said scepter from said bag. And we'll fit that into her hand, which I have to say fit a lot easier than the other Masters accessories. So there's Evil-Lyn, and just by a comparison, there she is next to Skeletor. Very, very cool. All right, so let's have a look at all the figures that we got. I won't show the doubles because obviously you've already seen those. But we've got Evil-Lyn right there. Nice purple color. You know what? Here's a close-up look at her. Nice purple. A nice dark, almost grape purple in, I don't know if you would call it the tiara, but like the little crest above her helmet. She's paired that up with a nice lighter, almost lilac purple. And that same purple also in her scepter, the back of her with her cape. Beautiful, beautiful looking Evil-Lyn. And smaller as well. So there's Evil-Lyn. Then let's have a look at the other Masters. You know what? We'll start with Skeletor. I love Skeletor. And we'll open his mouth. Just slightly, not enough to pop his head off, but there's Skeletor. Skeletor. Alright, there's the back of him. Skeletor. Let's see here. Trapjaw. There's Trapjaw. Got a couple of those. There's the back of Trapjaw. Oh, he actually has slots on the back, too. Small slots, though. I don't think too small. Where's his accessories? Check for his accessories here. I don't know where I put his accessories. Got just a pile of Masters of the Universe over here. Can't find his accessories, but... oh, that's why. Because I used this Trapjaw. This is Trapjaw where I added the claw. That makes sense. Okay, we'll take that off. Don't want to leave anything off of this review. Unpeg that. Turn it around. See if it fits in there. Oh, it does fit in there. Nice. So there's a slot on the back for Trapjaw to hold his other accessories. See? On the back. And there's the front. Quite like this guy as well. What I'd also like to see is, you guys let me know down below, based on the ones you're seeing here, which is your favorite. I feel like He-Man and Skeletor are probably my favorites. Speaking of He-Man, there's He-Man right there. With his sword and shield in, not quite hand. His sword is in his back there. There we go. There's He-Man. He-Man. You don't have to tell me. I know it's a terrible Skeletor impression. I'm not signing on board saying that was a good impression. It's a terrible, terrible impression. And moving along, we got Man-at-Arms. There's the front of him. There's the back of him. Okay, there we go. We also got ourselves, surprisingly, only one Stratos, even though the package chances showed that we were going to get 2 Stratos per case, but ultimately we just got another Trapjaw, So we only got 1 Stratos in this package, only 1. And got a couple of this guy, Beastman. By a couple, we did actually only get 2 of these guys, 2 Beastman. It would not be plural because he's still a Beastman. He's only one singular character. 2 Beastman. No, it sounds strange saying that. I know, it sounds a little strange. 2 Beastman. And then another figure that was a little on the rare side. Got ourselves a Trapjaw. There's the back of him right there. Section on the back for holding his sword. His sword. Right there. And let's see. Another one that we got was rare. Was Manny Faces. Only one of this guy as well. Manny Faces. With his 3 faces. Not 3-face, because we already got, or Tri-Face, we already got Tri-Klops. Manny Faces. So there you go, guys. If you guys are interested in picking these up again, where can you find them? The comic store. Yep, the comic store. Certainly, if you guys love Masters of the Universe, you'll definitely love these guys. These are awesome. And again, thank you to the folks over at Loyal Subjects for putting these guys out. Hopefully, we'll see ourselves a Series 2 of these in the near future. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.